police officer is brutally murdered by a gang of criminals and dumped in the wilderness. As his best friend and fellow cop, Jimenez decides to make the killers pay in blood. He leads several colleagues in tracking down one of the gang's low-level members, and after a little friendly persuasion, they force him to reveal the location of the gang's hideout. Under the cover of darkness, the four officers prepare to storm the place. After taking out a lookout, they successfully sneak into the unfinished building and locate the gang's room. But just as they are preparing to blow the door and launch their assault, the building's security guard suddenly shows up with a shotgun, eager to join the action. What he doesn't realize is that all the noise he makes alerts the criminals inside, who immediately open fire. Jimenez is hit in a vital spot and left barely alive, while the bomb on the door explodes and injures another officer. Then one of the criminals walks out and casually shoots the security guard dead, making him pay for the chaos he caused. Because of this idiot, the officers never even get the chance to take revenge before all of them are captured. The gang leader, Adewale, immediately demands to know why they came here, but the officers refuse to say a word. Bola assumes they have come to rescue the hostages, so he coldly empties his magazine and executes them. Faced with these ruthless killers, Wessam has no choice but to reveal the truth. When Adewale learns that the cops came to avenge their fallen colleague, he decides to kill them all to eliminate any future threat. What he doesn't know is that no one is getting out alive tonight, because at that very moment, an unknown virus suddenly erupts across the city, and a massive horde of zombies is quietly closing in on the unfinished building. Right after Adewale finishes off Jimenez, strange noises suddenly come from the room where the hostages are being held, accompanied by terrifying growls. Everyone gets nervous, and Adewale orders one of his men to check it out. But the moment he opens the door, a massive hand shoots out and grabs him by the neck before sinking its teeth into him. The hostage has already turned into a zombie. The criminals immediately open fire, but the bullets barely seem to affect it. The zombie keeps charging forward and attacks everyone in sight. When one of the gang members is tackled to the floor, two others rush over and start beating it with their fists and feet, but it does absolutely nothing. Finally, Adewale blasts its head apart with a shotgun, and only then does the zombie stop moving. Everyone is completely confused. Didn't Bola just execute all the hostages? Before they can figure out what is happening, another terrifying growl echoes through the hallway. One of the gang members steps outside to investigate, only to be dragged away by a zombie. Even worse, the two men who were bitten moments earlier suddenly begin to mutate as well. Panic instantly takes over. Nobody cares about their former allies anymore, and everyone starts running for their lives. Adewale fires several shotgun blasts from behind, but even that fails to stop the zombie horde. With no other choice, the remaining survivors flee to the rooftop and manage to temporarily block the zombies inside. Bola, who was killing people without blinking just moments ago, is now scared out of his mind. But when everyone finally catches their breath and looks out over the city, they are stunned by what they see. The entire city is engulfed in flames, with thick smoke rising everywhere, looking like the end of the world. Even worse, a massive horde of zombies has already gathered below the building. They are completely trapped. If they want any chance of escaping alive, these ruthless criminals and the police officers who came to bring them to justice have no choice but to put their hatred aside for now and fight the zombies together. Because at this point, working together may be their only chance of survival. Wessam and Adewale discuss the situation and decide to return to the room they were just in to grab some weapons before figuring out how to fight their way out. Luckily, the hallway is completely free of zombies for now, and even Jimenez's body has mysteriously disappeared. After everyone equips themselves, they begin making their way downstairs. The dark hallway is eerily quiet, but as they pass one of the rooms, it seems like there are zombies lurking inside. Aurora and the wounded officer at the back don't dare make a move. Suddenly, a zombie bursts out and pounces on the officer, dragging him out of sight in an instant. Aurora immediately chases after them, while two more zombies suddenly attack the others. The criminal Jose doesn't even make it behind the door before a zombie grabs him. His weapon falls to the ground, leaving him no choice but to fight it with his bare hands. Thanks to his massive fists, Jose manages to knock the zombie down, but even more zombies are closing in, forcing him to quickly hide behind the door. Unfortunately, the moment he steps inside, the fallen zombie bites him in the thigh. The thing refuses to let go, so Adewale smashes through the door window and blows the zombie away with a shotgun before locking the door tight. Meanwhile, Aurora tracks down the zombie that dragged the officer away, and the two end up wrestling inside a kitchen. Clearly, Aurora has the stronger fists, and she quickly knocks the zombie to the floor. She keeps pounding it, grabs a nearby tool, and goes absolutely berserk before finally using a refrigerator to pin the zombie underneath it. Unfortunately, the officer has already been bitten. Knowing exactly what that means, Aurora pulls out a pair of handcuffs and tells him to lock himself up. But the terrified officer refuses to accept his fate and suddenly grabs a tool, knocking Aurora unconscious. Elsewhere, the others are preparing to head downstairs when they suddenly spot a figure in the hallway slaughtering zombies. As they get closer, they realize it's an old man. Judging by how calmly he is tearing through the undead, it's obvious this guy is no ordinary survivor. He immediately notices that Jose has been bitten, so he takes the group back to his room and prepares to treat the wound. Since the infection has already reached Jose's thigh, the old man says the only way to save his life is to amputate the leg. But Jose refuses to believe him and won't accept losing a limb, so the old man reluctantly respects his decision. On the television, they learn that the entire city has fallen, while the military has withdrawn to an outlying base. There, they have established a safe zone and are taking in any surviving civilians. After hearing this, Wessam decides they need to fight their way out and make it to the safe zone. Bola, however, wants to stay in the unfinished building and refuses to risk going outside. He even threatens to kill anyone who tries to leave. Adewale immediately shoves Bola to the ground, making it clear that he is siding with Wessam. Naturally, this only makes Bola even more pissed off. After preparing everything, the group sets off according to plan. But the moment they leave the room, a zombie suddenly appears at the end of the hallway and charges toward them. Bola shoots it in the leg, knocking it to the ground. Instead of finishing it off, he starts messing with the helpless zombie together with Jose. Seeing how twisted these two are, even the old man decides to join in. Just as the three weirdos are having the time of their lives, Adewale finally can't stand watching anymore. He walks over, blasts the zombie dead, then grabs his little brother Bola and pins him against the wall for a serious lesson. After putting his brother in his place, Adewale walks away and starts forcing open a door. Bola is still completely stunned, while Jose, always eager to stir up trouble, comes over and starts driving a wedge between the brothers. Suddenly, the nearby door opens. It's the bitten officer. Wessam rushes over to check on him, only for Aurora to immediately shoot him dead. Confused by what just happened, Wessam pins Aurora against the wall and starts giving her a piece of his mind as well. Once he learns the truth, he finally lets her go. They then pry open the elevator and climb inside. But just as Wessam jumps down, Bola suddenly points a handgun at the back of his head. Egged on by Jose, Bola decides to split from his brother and takes all their weapons. No matter how desperately Adewale tries to reason with him, Bola refuses to listen. He coldly forces the others out of the elevator. The sound of the zombies is getting closer and closer, and with no weapons in their hands, the remaining survivors can only keep running downstairs. But when they finally reach the first floor, they are completely stunned by what they see. The entrance is packed with a massive horde of zombies, and even standing behind the steel door is enough to make their hair stand on end. Luckily, the security room next to them is stocked with all kinds of weapons. Everyone quickly picks their weapon of choice, but Aurora suddenly points her gun at Adewale. Clearly, she hasn't forgotten why she came here in the first place. Fortunately, Wessam stops her just in time. Given their current situation, every extra person is another chance to survive. But the moment they grab their weapons and step outside, the zombies smash through the glass in the door. The group immediately runs toward the basement. Aurora stays behind and tries to hold the zombies back, but there are simply too many of them. They finally make it to the basement, but just as they try to close the door, the zombies block it from shutting. 3 of them desperately hold the door against the incoming horde. Then the old man suddenly spots Bola's backpack. Adewale follows the trail and discovers something horrifying beside a car. Jose has already turned into a zombie, and he is feasting on his own brother. If Jose hadn't driven a wedge between the brothers earlier, Bola might never have died. Enraged, Adewale deliberately avoids Jose's vital spots and repeatedly beats the living hell out of him. He then grabs Jose and repeatedly smashes his head against the wall until his skull is completely destroyed. Adewale may be a ruthless criminal, but when it came to his little brother, he truly cared about him. Meanwhile, the 3 men finally manage to shut the basement door, but there is a terrible price to pay. Wessam has been bitten on the hand. Just as they prepare to keep running, they suddenly hear a massive number of footsteps approaching from nearby. An enormous horde of zombies is coming straight toward them. To give the others a chance to escape, the bitten Wessam steps forward. He clearly already knows what his fate will be. The moment the other 3 leave, the zombie horde comes rushing in. But Wessam has already made up his mind to die. With a determined look in his eyes, he charges straight into the massive swarm. He fights his way through the horde before eventually climbing onto a car. The zombies quickly surround him from every direction, and Wessam lets out an angry roar. He then pulls out 2 pistols and unloads on the zombies, firing wildly until every last bullet is gone. With no ammunition left, he draws the machete from his waist and keeps fighting until he has nothing left to give. In the end, Wessam finally collapses and is completely swallowed by the horde. Meanwhile, the other 3 also encounter a swarm of zombies while trying to escape. Luckily, the old man has enough firepower to blast a path through them with his machine gun. But the zombies keep pouring in, while the steel exit door behind them refuses to open. After another long burst of gunfire, the old man's ammunition is finally exhausted. With the zombies closing in, he quickly tells Aurora to throw him a grenade. He is clearly prepared to go down with the zombies and doesn't even know whether the others have escaped. Without hesitation, he pulls the pin. Fortunately, at the very last moment, the 2 manage to open the steel door and escape outside. The old man is immediately tackled by the zombies, but instead of panicking, he simply shoves the grenade into one of their mouths. A massive explosion tears through the area, and the 2 remaining survivors finally make it out alive. But Adewale has no idea that Aurora has never forgotten her mission for revenge. Before he can even recover from surviving the nightmare, Aurora raises her pistol and points it at the back of his head. Even in a zombie apocalypse, the crimes Adewale committed cannot simply be erased, especially after Aurora watched Jimenez die right in front of her. In the end, Adewale still cannot escape justice, as Aurora puts a bullet through his head.